We're here right now in the Molly Brown House for this brand new exhibit about the Titanic, and this is something that has always fascinated me, and that's why we're here with curator Stephanie today. And I have always been fascinated by the story. I know you and I were talking about this. You too, right?
I've always been interested in Titanic,
yes.
And being able to do a deep dive into the specific woman and what she was able to accomplish after Titanic is it's a dream.
Yes, absolutely. So tell me a little bit about this exhibition and what people can see when they come out.
Yeah, so the exhibit is called See Justice Done, which comes from one of her quotes about Titanic. And it's basically looking at the Titanic Survivors Committee, which she formed on board the rescue ship. Basically, she saw that there was a need for help, especially with two groups of people, and formed this committee to provide assistance.
Wow, that is so incredible. And you have a lot of amazing artifacts right here in this exhibit. We were looking at this letter earlier. Tell us about it.
So the letter is something that we recently acquired into our collections, and it was one of two artifacts that kind of spurred this exhibit and us looking into it and doing this deep dive. Basically, Margaret is writing to her daughter Helen when she finally gets back to Denver after just days after the Titanic disaster. So her and Helen, her daughter, had been traveling in Egypt. She picked up this souvenir. It's a little tiny figurine called a Ushabti, and that basically survived in her pocket through the entire journey, and that is one item that we're going to have on display as well.
One of the other gifts that she was given is one of the main reasons we're here. It's this flag, correct? Tell me more about the flag.
So the flag was donated to us a few months ago and was sort of the other item along with the letter that really got us thinking about her work with this committee. We were given this flag, and it's an interesting kind of mystery. It has a patch on it that says, "From the Titanic crew survivors to Mrs. J.J. Brown." It looks like it basically is further evidence of her support of the Titanic crew.
Yes. So incredible. Oh my gosh. Well, I want to head downstairs, Stephanie. Let's go check out what Paula is doing to restore this flag to make sure it looks perfect for you guys. Let's go take a look. Okay, Paula, thank you so much for letting us come crash your project. This is incredible. I want to start by having you describe to us what you do. You're a textile conservator. This is a really incredible job. It's obviously very niche. Tell me what exactly that means.
So I restore or preserve mainly historic textiles.
So tell me what you thought when you got the call about this incredible flag.
Well, I've been lucky enough to work with the Molly Brown House for a number of years. We've done other projects, and and Stephanie, the curator, called and she said, "We have this donation, and we just want to have you look at it and see its condition. We would like to display it long term." So the first step is to do that assessment, to examine, do the examination, and see the condition of the object.
Amazing. So tell me about the condition when you first saw it and what you're doing to make sure it stays preserved for generations to come.
It was always in pretty good condition. It was made as a commemorative object, so it's not a flag that was used or flown outside. It was gifted to Brown, but it was previously framed, and so this is some of the documentation that we do as part of the process. And in its previous mounting, it wasn't supported overall, and it was just slumping. So that was the main concern, was like, how can we remount it so that it can be displayed safely without causing damage.
Incredible. Okay, so tell me too about some of these fiber analyses you do, because you guys really dig into to check into this. So what is that all about?
It seems like a lot, but this is pretty routine for an examination that we do. It involves taking fiber samples, and by fibers I mean microscopic, just teeny tiny. You would never miss them, and of course we get approval to do that. You just look at them under the microscope, and they just wanted to, as part of its history, because they research all of the artifacts here.
When you're looking at objects like this especially, how much does the history kind of come into your mind while you're working on it and making sure that it's preserved properly?
Yeah, that's a great question. It affects treatment decisions. There's always collaboration, whether it's a private collection or, of course, with the museum. It all depends on the goals of the, I mean, outside of preservation, are we wanting to display it? How do you want to interpret it? Sometimes there might be staining that you wouldn't remove if it's historically significant.
Right.
So all of that factors in. And from a personal perspective, I love working with flags. I actually have done quite a few because they represent some kind of historical moment.
Right.
So there's always something to learn.
That is so incredible. I mean, you must be a huge history buff then, I assume. Or not really.
I
Maybe
mean,
not.
I'm always curious to learn a new story, so.
That is incredible. Oh my gosh, well, Paulette, that's amazing. Before I let you go, so you talked about some of the staining. I mean, we see a little bit of that here on the flag at the bottom. Is that something that you just keep and you just, you know, keep it to tell the story?
I think so. I mean, you know, some staining in historic textiles is expected. I'm not even sure it could be removed safely. You know, these are decisions that are made both with testing to see what can be removed and also just curatorial decisions.
Yeah.
You know, that's something that they decide if it's something that they find visually distracting or it can be left as is.
Definitely fair. Okay. And Paulette and her lovely crew were able to start framing while we were there. You can see them doing this here, and you can actually see the flag up in the exhibit now. Again, we were there for them to be able to do that, but here it is right now on the wall at the exhibit. You can see the flag displayed at See Justice Done. It's the exhibition at the Molly Brown House right now, and you can learn more and purchase tickets online. That's at mollybrown.org.